Hello everybody, thank you very much for joining me today. Louis here, League Goalkeeping Development Coach at Cambridge United Football Club. And today I'm going to do a quick video for you on some questions I get asked a lot. Hopefully clear up some terms that you might hear used when being coached by our goalkeeping coaches. And just to give you a few top tips really. So yeah, a little bit of a technical presentation if you like from myself today. Okay, we'll dive straight into it then. So the first thing I'd like to touch on is positioning. So position is something that you hear talked about a lot. But as a young goalkeeper, what exactly does this mean? So the word that I use a lot is to be positive. So positive positioning. As you can see here, our team, the Yellows, are in possession of the football. In fact, our number 9, the striker, is about to take a shot at goal. He's got into the opposition penalty box. So the question I ask you is, how can we as a goalkeeper be really, really positive in this scenario? Obviously, we're purple in this picture. Are we being positive? I think the answer is no. So, as I'm sure you can imagine, the answer is to move the goalkeeper higher up the pitch to support the defenders. Now, why do we do this, I hear you ask? So, the reason we do this is two reasons, really. The first one is, and again, you hear me use the word connected a lot, is to stay connected to your team. So, by staying connected, you are able to talk to your defenders, to communicate with them, to give them information, maybe help them out. So, let's say number 5 should be marking the red number 1. Let's say our number 5 has drifted away a little bit, and we can say, hey, number 5, mark there, red number 1. If that makes sense. So that's the first reason why you can do it. The second reason, let's pretend that our 9 is not very good and he misses. Okay, 9's missed. Their goalkeeper has the ball. He's going to be wearing green. There he is. Okay, and their goalkeeper decides to boot the ball up the pitch into this area here. Now, let's say our number 6 misses the ball and it bounces. Because we're in a really nice high starting position, we're able to come into here, control the ball, and pass to our number 3, who then creates another attack. So because our position was really, really positive, we were able to help our team, help our number 6 out, and keep the ball in the team. Okay, so that's those are the two reasons why it's really important to be positive. Okay, another reason it might be good to be positive is, let's say our number 6 has the ball here, but then comes under pressure from an opposition striker. Because we've created a lovely, lovely position here, we can receive the ball and again continue to play. So again, it's all about staying connected and being in a good position to support your team. Be really, really positive. You may hear the word high used quite a lot. So for the goalkeeper to play high means the goalkeeper plays a long way from their goal or plays close to the opposition goal. Obviously, if the goalkeeper's playing deep, it means the opposite. So you're playing deep in your own goal somewhere here. So this is high and this is deep. There you go, just to clear up some terminology you might not have heard before. So let's say that our team has the ball on the left-hand side. Our left back, number 3, has the ball. Do we need to stand in the middle of the pitch? Well, again, the answer is no. The answer is we need to be over here, creating a supporting angle. Again, two reasons. Nice and close so we can talk, and we create a lovely angle to receive the ball back. Now, let's say, for example, that we give the ball away. 3 passes to red number 1 here. Now, the red player, again, may decide to quickly release the ball and try and play it in behind. Red number 2 is running through on goal. Because we're really, really high, it gives us more thinking time to decide, do we come out and clear it, or do we drop back into our goal and let number 5, our defender, deal with it. So hopefully that makes sense. Because we're really, really high, it gives us more thinking time to make a decision. Do we come and sweep up, or do we go and defend our goal? So finally, just to clarify a few more terms, there are 3 important areas of the football pitch for a goalkeeper to defend. The first one is defend the space. So as you can see here, this huge area here is the space. So can we defend that space from any long balls that get played into there? If not, absolutely fine, not a problem. Going to give the striker the ball. Can we defend the box? So how we defend the box is like this. We use our team, like so. Make sure they're really, really compact, really narrow, really close together, so that the striker cannot dribble through, pass through, or shoot. So we have to defend our box, stop them getting into our box. And as a last resort, let's say the striker managed to get into the box, we have to defend the goal. Obviously that means, from our point of view, making saves, but also shouting information at our defenders. So make blocks, can you tackle him, can you get close to him, or her of course, and prevent the shot. So as we see here, defending the goal means number 5 making a big block, maybe 1 got through, and he might have a shot, and then we hopefully will make the save. So there's the 3 things to defend. Defend the space, defend the box, and defend the goal. This is all really, really important information for you as a goalkeeper. Of course, I've shown you here on an 11v11 pitch, so for players aged 13 and over, for most of you. Of course, these principles still apply in small-sided football. So in five-a-side, let's say we're playing a 1-3 formation, something like that. These things would still matter because even though the pitch is smaller, it's still really important that we use positive positioning to stay connected to our team. Hopefully you found that helpful. I'm going to move on to talking about set pieces. Okay, I'm now here with my setup for defending corners. So for me as a goalkeeper, defending corners is a really, really important responsibility. It's really important you know the roles of all of your players and you know exactly how you would like your setup to look. So here we are, the yellow team. Obviously we're wearing purple and the reds are attacking our corner. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through all the player roles individually. And then I'm going to talk to you about the player roles collectively, so as a team. Of course, this is using an 11v11 pitch, but the principles are very much the same for small-sided games. So I'll cover that in a second. Okay, so first of all, I've got my left back, number 3, and my right back, number 2, on my posts. Their job is really simple, to stand inside the post and to make the goal narrower. So anything that comes towards them, hopefully they will clear off the line. Because the goal is narrower, it frees me up to defend this area and maybe come and catch or punch the cross. Number 4 is probably the most important player of all. Their job is to defend what we call the soft spot. The soft spot is where the ball might bounce and create all kinds of problems for us. So their job is to stand slightly in front or in line with the near post. That's this post, the post nearest the ball. So their job is to stand in line with the near post and halfway up the 6-yard box. So as you can see here, right in the middle, maybe 3 yards up the line. Again, their job, if the ball comes into the area, is to head it or kick it clear to prevent causing any problems in our near post area. Number 5 is also an important player. Their job is to stay free. This means they don't mark anybody. Normally I choose my best header of the football for this. So in this case, a central defender. Their job, quite simply, is to head the ball away if I don't shout keepers. So if I shout away, number 5 will come and head the ball clear. This is what's known as a semi-zonal setup. This means that half of our players are defending zones and half are marking players. So 6, 7, 8 and 9 are marking the opposition strikers. Now their job is really simple. Stay between the striker and the goal. Make contact, which means touch them. Don't let them get away from you. Make sure you always keep your hand maybe touching them. Make sure that they know which player's theirs. And stop them from scoring. So to win the ball. If you're talking about Premier League level, they use the word making contact. So they have to make contact with the player and then make contact with the ball. Or first contact. Now next time you watch a game of football, it might be worth having a look and seeing if you can work out what strategies the defending team's using. Are they fully zonal? Are all their players marking? And what areas are they defending? So have a look. It's really, really interesting. Finally, number 10 is here on the edge of the box. His job is to prevent anything coming short. And also, if the goalkeeper catches the ball, keepers, they might decide to throw it to number 10 and he might launch a counter-attack. Finally, another really important job is number 11 here. Now, because number 11 is staying forwards, it's occupying 2 red defenders. This is another defender that then won't be coming up to attack, if that makes sense. So because 11 is here, it means 2 reds have to mark this player, which takes a player out of the box. I don't have to worry about them. There you go. So there's an interesting setup. Here's the one I use. Obviously, there's loads of different ones, but I find this one works well for me. Now, let's say that the 6 has thrown caution to the wind. Let's say that they've decided to come up and attack. Which player do we ask to go and mark them? I'll let you have a little think, and then I'll tell you the answer that I would give. Okay, hopefully you've come up with an answer. My answer would be number 3, so I would lose my player off the near post. I'll tell you why, very simple reason. Because number 4 can do both jobs. Obviously it makes the goal wider, so not ideal, but I'd rather this player was marked, had a player marking him, and then number 4 did both these jobs here. Obviously, if number 5 needs to go and mark as well, it's not a problem. Let's pretend that number 6 is not going to come and stand here and attack the ball. He is going to make himself a real nuisance. He's going to come and mark me. It's made life really difficult because now I can't come and claim the ball because 6 is in my way. How do we deal with that? I'll tell you. We ask our number 5 to come and stand between us and the red number 6. By doing that, it creates a screen to defend us from any contact the 6 might decide to give us. You can even use your hands to push the 5 to prevent the 6 from getting near you. But because you're pushing your own player, it's not a penalty. This is another example of making contact and how making contact is really important when you're defending in the penalty area. Okay, now let's talk about smaller sided games. Let's talk about maybe 5-a-side or 6-a-side or 7-a-side. The only difference is, of course, the number of attackers. I would still say to go with this setup, where you have a player defending this area and a player defending your far post. If the goal is a small goal, you might not need this player. But I would always recommend having one player in this area here, if you've got enough to spare. Again, remember, leave someone forward to occupy some defenders. As a goalkeeper, it's really important that you're comfortable with your defensive setup. So maybe talk to your coaches about this and try and work out what works best for you. I'm now going to move on to another type of set piece. Okay, and here we are looking at defending central free kicks. As you can see, we've given away a free kick in a dangerous area. Number 6 is almost definitely about to shoot. So the first thing I need to do is to make sure the game is stopped. The 6 doesn't take the free kick quickly. So I might ask my number 10 to stand in front of the ball to make sure they can't have a quick shot at my goal before I'm ready. After the referee's set up the wall, told me how far away I can go, it's really, really important that I get my hand in the air. I need to show how many fingers is the number of players I would like in my wall. So here I held up 4 fingers and I've got 4 players in my wall. Now, for younger players, sometimes they might not want to go in the wall, or sometimes they might not even know they need to be in a wall. So as a goalkeeper, it's really important that you shout names. So I might have shouted 2, 3, 4 and 5, get in the wall, making it really, really clear. Another example of staying connected to your team. So now we've got 2, 3, 4 and 5 in the wall, but how do we line them up? Well, the ball is down here, so I'm going to go over to my near post. Again, the post nearest the ball. I'm going to align the wall so that number 2 is covering the area just to the side of the near post. This is in case the ball bends or is curled around the wall to make sure we've got that extra coverage. Make sure your wall is nice and tight and close together, and tell them if you want them to jump. Sometimes you might decide to discuss this before the game or with your manager. When this is done, you don't want to stand behind your wall. The wall is defending this part of the goal, so you need to defend the other half. Don't go too far into the corner, but make sure you set yourself a good couple of paces towards the side of the goal that is unprotected. These players here are doing another important job. Quite often, free kick takers like to be a bit sneaky. They might decide to cross it instead. Therefore, these players need to mark really, really closely, again, make contact with the red attackers. They also need to make sure that if you make a brilliant save and parry it, they're there ready to clear the ball. Okay, and again, as you can see, I've left my number 11 forwards. Just in case there's a counter-attack, I can do a drop kick or a long throw into the 11 to score, should I make the save. Okay, and finally, I'm on to wide free kicks. So, how is a wide free kick different to a central free kick? Well, for me, the one big difference is they're probably not going to shoot. They're probably going to cross the ball in or try and create a goal-scoring opportunity that's not a direct strike on goal. So how do we deal with this differently? Well, it's sort of like a cross between a corner and a central free kick in that we still have a wall and we still have a soft spot. So as you can see here, because the free kick is not all that wide, it's sort of half up the pitch, I've decided to go over 2-player wall. Now again, I've put my fingers up, I've said I want 2, and I've used their names. Yes, 2 and 3, get in the wall. This is really, really important. Again, I've lined the wall up to cover the near post, but this time I've adopted a position probably more central in the goal, but a little bit higher. Remember the word higher? So a bit higher off my line. This is so that if they cross the ball in, I'm in a better position to come and influence it, i.e. catch it or punch it away. Again, I've left 11 forwards just in case I do catch it and decide to counter-attack. Number 4 is on the soft spot. So do you remember the soft spot? The soft spot is where the ball would bounce if it was going to create me a problem at the near post. So the forward's job, quite simply, is to stop it bouncing, to kick it or head it away if it comes too close to them. Obviously, it's really important that I give them information. I might shout keepers, they might get out of the way, or I might shout away. If I shout away, they know to clear the ball. Again, you'll see here players making contact, so being really, really close and marking tightly the opposition players, ready to make first contact with the ball and head it away. If the free kick was wider, I might decide to go with a 1-player wall, something like that. Again, it's really important that the first thing we do is we stop them taking it quickly. So it's really important that you make sure there is always someone between the ball and the goal. The moment there is no one between the ball and the goal, they are able to have a shot before we are ready. So always make sure there is someone between the ball and the goal. Again, use their name and explain to them what you want. Okay, before we sum up, I'd just like to revisit this key point. Positioning. When the ball is high up the pitch, we get high up the pitch. When the ball comes deeper or closer to us, we get closer to our goal. So as the ball travels away from us up the pitch, we go towards it up the pitch. And as the ball travels closer to us down the pitch, we travel down the pitch. As it goes to the side, we follow it to the side. And as it goes to the other side, lateral movement, we follow it as well. So it's really important as a goalkeeper, you're always moving and tracking the ball. Okay, just on to a few final key points then. So I'd just like to give you a couple of little tips that might hopefully help you. Now, a question I get asked a lot is about mistakes. Young goalkeepers making mistakes. First of all, mistakes are going to happen as a goalkeeper. It's a really difficult position, a really specialist position, because you don't get that much of the ball. But when you do get the ball, it's likely to be a difficult chance or a difficult opportunity for something to deal with. So let's say the striker's about to have a shot on goal. You can't affect, really, whether that striker hits an absolute world in the top corner or a shot straight at you. So again, it's one of those where you have to view it as a learning experience. So for me, it's fine to make mistakes as a young goalkeeper, as long as you learn from them. It's really, really important that we understand that we're going to make mistakes, but we view them as an opportunity. Okay, this didn't work. We know what to do differently next time, if that makes sense, hopefully. I would say, in fact, that goalkeepers don't get better if they don't make mistakes. So every time you make a mistake, it's fine, as long as it makes you a better goalkeeper. I think this is a really, really important message. Another thing to think about is when reviewing. This is for coaches, parents, everybody. I think as goalkeepers or goalkeeper coaches, we fall into the trap of working out what we can do better. And this is great because, as I said earlier, it's all about learning, all about becoming better. However, sometimes it's important to ask what went well. So maybe something as simple as receiving a back pass, but you received it really nicely with your left foot and passed back with your right foot. Something you worked on in training, something so obvious, something so easy. But sometimes these things are worth looking at and thinking, yeah, that went really well. I'd like to do more of that. So think about what you can develop and what you can get better at, but don't fall into the trap of forgetting about the things that went well. From me as a goalkeeping coach, and just as a little bit of a hint for anybody else that perhaps has a goalkeeper, a young goalkeeper in their family, or they try and help their young goalkeeper for their team, maybe parents, coaches. For me, the hardest thing to do is to leave a goalkeeper alone. It's a real challenge, in fact. So it's very, very easy for all of us to try and overcoach the goalkeepers, to give them feedback on everything. But I think sometimes it's important to leave them alone and let them learn a little bit for themselves. For me, I struggle with distracting instructions coming all the time. I think it's really important to stay focused on the game as a goalkeeper and to wait for breaks in play to give piece of information or just to think about it, or even wait till after the game. I know for me, working with goalkeepers, quite often my feedback is given at the end of the game or at half time. So I would say try not to fall into the trap of overcoaching a goalkeeper. I think that's the hardest thing, really, is to leave them alone sometimes. So just an interesting thing. I always try and bottle my feedback together and deliver it at once, so it's richer and has more information. So just a little bit of an idea when it comes to reviewing or working with your goalkeeper. Finally, modern goalkeepers. What does that mean? Well, for me, a modern goalkeeper is a goalkeeper that's as comfortable outfield as they are in goal. I know it sounds mental. I certainly never had that gift myself. However, I think that there's a place for goalkeepers these days to play outfield, and in training or even in games. So I think if you get the opportunity to play outfield or even to practice your shooting or anything like that, it works on your ball striking. So I'd say don't turn it down. Feel free to play outfield. For a lot of grassroots teams, obviously you just have to play outfield in training until you go in goal for the small-sided games, which is brilliant. It gives you a great advantage over your peers to work on your outfield skills. So developing modern goalkeepers is a really important thing for me. Just a few little hints and tips there that hopefully give you some insight into how I think about goalkeeping, into how we work with our goalkeepers at Cambridge United, and of course some tactical information there as well. Okay, I'm going to sum up now. That's enough of me talking. There will be a quiz which will be available in the description of this video. Please have a look at that. Try and put in the answers from some of the questions that I've hopefully answered in this video. Enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.